Hi, everybody. I've got Jeff Clark with me once again, and we've got a lot to talk about today. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. And yes, lots to discuss. We're going to jump right in, but we've got an article of the day, tweet of the day, chart of the day, some good viewer feedback, and a great meme of the day. So stick around for that. So let's jump in, Mike. This first thing is an article of the day, and it's basically saying that the Biden infrastructure and job spending plan could total a whopping $4 trillion. Mike, I remember when this first came out, I think it was around 2.5 trillion. Then it was going to be three. Now they're talking about $4 trillion just for the infrastructure spending plan. Mike, what's your reaction to this breathtaking amount of currency that's going to be spent?
Well, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. This is like if you had a plan to destroy the currency system, the global monetary system, because the global monetary system is based around the U.S. dollar. And to destroy a currency, what you do is you create a lot more of it. You keep on increasing the rate that you're creating new currency. And this is exactly what they're doing. I mean, they just, the $1.9 trillion bill, this is on top of that, isn't it? This is like spending for infrastructure and stuff. This isn't the personal, the stimulus checks. By the way, um, defibrillation of a dying patient, somebody that has had a heart attack and is going to die. Defibrillation is a form of stimulus. and
That's a good point.
and this is what they are doing. They've got a patient that you can see that this is it's not going to, I've said this many times, it's just not going to end well. With what they're doing, the direction things are going. And it reminds me of a great Ludwig von Mises quote. Ludwig von Mises: there is no means of avoiding the final collapse of a boom brought about by credit expansion. And that's what we're doing. This is all based on credit. They're going to create new currency to support this. The alternative is only whether the crisis should come sooner as a result of voluntary abandonment of further credit expansion. Now, we know that that won't happen. If they did, the free market would allow prices to stabilize in all of the different sectors. Some things are being blown into bubbles. Some things are deflating. We've got indeflation happening right now. But if they just stop, eventually the free market will balance things. But that's not going to happen. The other alternative here is or later as a final and total catastrophe of the currency system involved. Notice he says currency, not money. This was many, many, many decades ago. He knew the difference, and it is going to be a total catastrophe of the currency system involved. So that's my opinion on it. What's your opinion on all of these crazy spending plans?
It's just breathtaking to me, Mike, how much currency they're really going to push to these programs. And you're right, this is on top of the stimulus bill that's already passed. This is an infrastructure, clean energy, green energy, climate bill. And it's just a staggering amount of currency that's going to go to all these programs. And the point is, there is no free lunch. I still believe in that, even though gold and silver have been soft recently. I still believe in no free lunch, and there will be consequences to all this, like you've been pointing out for years. So, well, on to tweet of the day, Mike. This is from our friend David Morgan. He says, how far back do we go to see monetary demand for silver greater than industrial demand? Oh, yeah, when silver was known by all to be money. So he's making a great distinction there, too. And what he's showing here is a chart from SRS Rocco that physical demand actually just passed, is projected to pass in 2020, the demand for industrial use of silver, the first time in a long time. I believe the last time I saw that, Mike, was back in 2009. We all know what was happening then. So what do you make of this idea that physical demand for silver for investors is actually surpassing that for industrial demand?
Yeah, well, I've often said that the day that we're really going to see the fireworks in silver is the day that we have monetary demand, when people are trying to protect their wealth and they're all rushing towards it at once. I don't really think that we've seen anything yet. I do think that, lately, if you look at it, we're in a very weird spot where things could go up, things could go down. There's no clear direction. However, when you take a look at the commitment of traders and the inflows and outflows of transparent gold and silver holdings, you see that there's been more selling than buying lately. But the commitment of traders, the big commercial banks, have not sold their short position. They haven't covered their short positions. They haven't bought them back. I'm sorry, yet. Not all of them. They've reduced them a little bit, but they're still quite short. And so I think that there could be further consolidation here and pullback. But what we're doing, as far as technical analysis goes, we're building something called a cup and handle, which is one of the most bullish patterns that there is. And all it says is that things will one day explode to the moon.
Very good. If you like what you're watching here, be sure and hit that like button for us and subscribe with the button below there. So on to chart of the day, and this is from Nick Jones. Steel prices. Good grief. I like that because look at that chart. Look at the price of steel of all things. And this, of course, corresponds to many other commodities that are going up. So I'm going to start calling it bit steel. Mike, what do you think of that?
Well, we've gone, the dip was down at around 500, it looks like, even below. And we're up 1355 here. So, more than double in this is about half a year. This looks like a monthly chart here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up months in a row. There's two things that I get from this. It might be a good short if you're into that kind of thing. I don't short stuff. I'm not a great trader. I am an investor, and I look at the fundamentals of things. But this is also people feeling there's inflation ahead. When a fundamental commodity that's used throughout society more than doubles in price in 9 months, this is just that is a sign that there is inflation ahead sometime. Will it do a pullback first? Who knows?
Right. Good. I think it's pretty clear some level of higher inflation is ahead. So, well, on to some viewer feedback, Mike. This is from Blue Max. He says, we aren't coming into just another stock market crash or dip or decline. We are coming into the popping of the everything bubble, finally. So, Mike, what do you think? Is the timing about here that the stock market's going to pop?
Well, they've got everything so artificially inflated with all of the currency creation for the pandemic, for the regular deficit spending they were doing. Every time, government just does not have a concept of building a savings account. They do things like they lie to us, like they tell us that Social Security is going to be a savings account where, you pay into it now and you're going to be able to we're going to hold this for you and you're going to make interest on it, and then we'll give it back to you later. And, this is going to be tax-free. Well, they keep on changing the rules, but the system is totally bankrupt because they've borrowed everything out of it. And now they're paying out more than they're taking in. So it's not going to last very long. And the government just doesn't have a concept of saving up for a rainy day. It's just a family cannot run their finances like this. Until just this century, a business could not run their finances like this. But now we've got all of these zombie businesses that when the next crisis hits, it's going to not just be a popping of the everything bubble. The currency system, that quote from Ludwig von Mises, that that it's could be a final and total catastrophe of the currency system involved. With all of these bubbles popping, one of the bubbles is our currency system, and that's going to pop along with it. It's scary, yet it's one of the greatest opportunities ever presented in human history.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not a lot of people talk about the monetary or currency system when they talk about the everything bubble. And you've talked a lot about that, especially in Hidden Secrets of Money. So remember, you can get Mike's book for free. The link is below. If you've not read it, give yourself a treat. So we'll wrap it up with a meme of the day here, Mike. So tell us about this meme you have for us.
This is very simple. And basically, there is no free lunch. And this is just a billboard outside of some trucking company, it looks like. And it says, there is no such thing as government funded. It's all taxpayer funded. And that's the truth. I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, Jeff.
Thanks, Mike. See you next time.